What's up guys, today we're going karting. This all started from a company team building activity back in June. We were supposed to be racing this style of karts in Atlanta, but we got rained out and the track closed for the day. I was itching to drive one of these karts, so I took the day off and headed to New Caney, Texas and arrived at SpeedSportz Racing Park. They offer a program called the Kart Racing Experience. Pretty much you get to rent out a 125cc Rotax racing kart and get some guidance from a racing instructor. So there's actually one other person that was with us today. You can see pretty much the instructor already waved him forward. So now it's just me and the instructor, and we're going to start pretty much doing like a couple little laps and see if I can get close enough to him. But I know he's going to be kind of just taking it easy because he's just trying to show me around on the track. So the whole time I'm actually following him, he was actually telling us like, hey, just follow my line, see where we're supposed to be going the whole time. So that way we didn't actually get confused as to, which way or how to actually take the turn. So a lot of these actually turns that he was telling us at are a lot of late corners, so the apex is a little bit further into the turn instead of right at the peak in the middle. So yeah, right here, like right away, so what ended up happening is I got pretty close to him and I got a little worried, so I kind of panicked and I hit the brakes pretty hard, and the brakes are just in the back, so as soon as you actually just lock up the brakes in the back, you're just going to slide out, the back tires come out, and you just start kind of spinning around for a little bit. So I caught back up to him. Obviously he's going a little bit slower. Trying just, to shake it off. That was actually pretty funny. I was actually kind of laughing in person, but you probably couldn't hear it in the video. And now we're just kind of taking it straight away, and so I kept on trying to actually gun it every once in a while, gonna get close to him, and he kept looking back to see if I was close enough, and this time for sure I kind of made sure I wasn't hitting the brakes as hard. So we're going to go ahead and skip forward a little bit where he's actually going to just let us pass on this lap and just kind of wave us forward. So we can pretty much do our own lap, just do one quick lap on our own. So you can kind of tell right away, I got on the gas, I was pretty excited, just, letting me have my own reins on this one. Front tires sliding out and everything. Obviously, I'm a total noob. Look at me go around the curve. That was pretty bad. On the back, this is actually the first time I actually got to hit the gas really hard on the back way, and it's set to 2-stroke, so that power band starts to kick in pretty long. And again, like I'm getting too antsy. I'm going over the turns, going a little bit too quick. Never did karting before, so this is all kind of too new to me when it came to how to take the angles and everything else. Yeah, and this one actually started really slowing down quite a lot. So I'm still trying to get used to the car a little bit. The one thing I saw, some people actually were, like on some of the kart videos, people were always going around the curve and saying how tough it was. And you can see earlier I went over that curve and it didn't really seem that way, but maybe it's because other people's tracks are a bit different, but I barely even hit the curb. So first lap, I did a 1 minute and 3 seconds. So not too bad. I mean, the thing we were doing before behind the instructor was like a minute 8 seconds. So I was trying to get used to it. See, like I got a little bit better on that turn. I was trying to get the angles a little bit better. I was trying to get the gas a little bit earlier. Yeah, and on this one, I'm still like earlier. I really went too hard on that turn. This one I'm trying to get a little better as well. You can see I'm understeering a little bit. Yeah, see I'm going really slow into that turn, finally get into the gas again, kind of drifting out a little bit. And that was one thing that on that turn earlier, I always keep making that same mistake. It feels like I'm not really hitting the apex that well. And I'm trying to see through the turns where, in order to actually hit it in the best spot, but not doing the best. And so what we're going to do is skip forward a little bit. So this one right here, we're going to end this one with a minute and 3, so almost like a second off, or second better. And we're going to kind of skip forward to, this is going to be one of the faster laps for this session. And you kind of see that, like I think we're on lap 11. So we were kind of skipped, a couple laps ahead. And I'm trying to get a little bit better on the car, get a little more comfortable. Getting my little spot points as far as when to start braking, when to actually hit the turn a little bit better. Let's see. So yeah, this one, I kind of cut it too short. And I kept feeling like, for some reason I kept thinking that like, okay, 2-stroke, power band, let me try to stay like in the middle of the range, and so that way I don't, go too slow. And then what ends up happening is I'm going even slower to get up on speed again. So I kept thinking in my head, like, for some reason, I need to get the gas going, wound up all the time. But from what I've seen a lot is just that corner, like, for some reason, it just feels like I shouldn't be going that slow. And so we shaved off, I think, right there about 2 seconds worth. So now we're actually at 1 minute 1 second. And so one of the last we skipped before a little bit is, the instructor told us, hey, just go ahead and come in. So what he's gonna do now is he's gonna tell us, hey, what are your weak points? Where what can you improve on? What are you doing good at? Like I said earlier, it was pretty much my turn 6 and turn 8, like I said before. Turn 6, he was telling me, hey, if it doesn't feel like you're going slow, then you're not doing it right. Pretty much, like I said earlier, it's like I'm thinking in my head for some reason that I need to go fast into it, but it's messing me up at the exit of turn 6, and so it's messing me up on turn 7 getting into it, and that's why I think I keep kind of running it a bit too short or too wide on certain instances. So we're going back out to the track again, and we're going to kind of take whatever he actually told us as far as on those ones and kind of put it into practice. I asked Alan too, I was like, hey, what can I do to help me out on turn 6? And you can see there's a light pole right there in front of me where, he was saying, like, hey, use this light pole right here as your marker when you should be braking on this turn. So that way you can start getting a little bit closer on the apex on turn 6 and take it a little bit smoother. So I started doing that. I think it started helping me out, but then I actually feel like I started blowing into turn 8 a little bit more. You can see like how close I was getting to the edge over there. And I thought it was pretty cool. It kept feeling like it was cool, but I'm not sure if I was actually doing the right job, because obviously I'm new to karting. I don't know how to actually, if the drifting is supposed to be good or not good as far as going through those turns. But either way, I was having a lot of fun. It's another 15-minute session, so I'll just try to make the most of it as I can. So this is actually my fastest lap for the second session, and you can kind of see like I'm getting a little squirrely. I'm having a little more fun with it. I'm not trying to get on the gas all the way through on the turns, just to kind of help me out. But also what's happening too is that I was getting a little bit later in the day, and the other guy, Lucas, was kind of catching to me because I kept on just trying to find new things to do instead of trying to go hard all the time. I was trying to make sure that, like, hey, let me just kind of take it easy right here, let me get this turn better. But because he was catching up to me, I was like, okay, I need to pick up the pace. Like, I don't want somebody to just catch me like that. So here we go. We're at I think on turn 12, getting close to the very end. And I'm actually getting a little better on this turn. Actually, instead of staying close a little bit more to the left and instead of helping me out, you can see I'm a little bit slower there, but it's not bad actually. So that actually was a minute and 1 second 15. So it's a little bit slower than the first section, but not too bad. And so what we're gonna do is actually gonna go to the fastest lap, which is it happened in the first session. So yeah, this one. So actually on both sides, as far as the first session and second session, I was, I think, averaging like 1 minute 1 second. So I was in there over and over and over again as far as first and second, and the second session actually the track was getting a little bit colder too. I think of that day, I think it was around like 50 degrees. So earlier when I got there, I think it was about like 62. So it's not much of a difference, but still, you can see my lines are a little bit cleaner. Yeah, even this one, you can see like I'm kind of like wiggling back and forth when I hit the brakes. I'm just trying to make sure like I don't lose it. I'm not hitting over the curve like I did before. Yeah, it seems not as tight as it was the last lap, but still pretty nice as far as the last turn. And with that, I actually was at, I think it was a minute. Yep. So since it was really a race, the one thing we actually can compare is actually having the fastest laps from the different categories, and you can kind of see I'm actually not that quick. And plus, it's the first time actually riding a go-kart, but I just want to say it's actually a lot of fun. Taking the day off and just kind of riding around for a little bit and de-stressing for a little bit, but I don't know, maybe I can do it again and maybe actually go for a couple races, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you guys watching.